Greetings, Star Course. Welcome back. We're doing another podcast. This one is Training Through Adversity. As always, like, subscribe, leave comments, whatever the appropriate actions are. Do those things. And we were just talking about fingers. So I dislocated this finger, panicked. I looked down, and the nail was over here on the side, and the whole finger was kind of. And I was like, that's not right. And I closed my eyes and I pulled on it. And I guess it went back into place-ish. It's still a little crooked if you look at it there. And then I immediately slapped hands and went back to training, which I probably should not have done because that night it swole up like a sausage and it was messed up for quite a while. Now it just kind of looks a little funny. So whatever. Right. But you broke your finger.
Yeah. That first little bone broke all the way through, and the finger was cocked out like that. And so it snapped, and I just shoved my hand back at my partner. Pull it in! And the guy yanked it straight, and I buddy taped it to the other finger, and off we went.
Back at it.
Until I went through military entrance processing and got disqualified.
Because of your finger.
Because of my finger. I go through all the stuff, right? They check your, every joint, right? You got to go through all of your mobility and, you got a straight spine and blah, blah, blah. And do a full medical checkup. And
finger not straight.
Yeah, at the end, I go to hand the doctor my packet. And this one, and he takes it from me. And I do that. And he's like, put your hand on the desk. Make a fist. Your finger's broken. You can't join the military. Come back in 8 weeks.
Huh.
Yeah.
So there you go.
So that's when I finally went to the doctor for my broken finger. A month afterward. Don't do that. That's dumb.
Yeah. If you have an injury, stop training for a little bit.
Yeah.
Right? Assess the injury.
Seek medical assistance. Self-assessment is not a skill set that we all have.
Yeah. Most human beings are pretty awful at it, actually. But you do want to continue training or drilling as much as possible. So there's kind of two sides of the coin there.
Yeah. Yeah, you were talking earlier about adapting a little bit and then changing up your drills, changing up your rolling to work around that injury. And again, I don't necessarily think that's something that everybody can do on their own, but it's something that everybody can do, and you can stay on the mat. You can do something.
You can do something for sure.
Something.
What is that thing? Well, you might have to ask. You might have to do a little roaming around on YouTube.
Yeah. I broke my collarbone and just stuck my hand on my belt for 6 months. And worked.
Yeah. Trained one-handed
and got triangled
so many times. Did anyone bump it? Is that that would hurt, right? I've never had a broken collarbone.
Yeah, I would get bumped and moved and whatever, but it was worse for things like Kimura.
Twisting the arm on that side?
Yeah, so Kimura had it start to stretch and press that collarbone forward, and that was bad. So yeah, just in there. All right, I'm gonna adapt. I'm gonna learn to figure it out.
Got triangled so many times.
Yeah, triangled so many times.
I would have sympathy for him, except he's triangled me so many times. No sympathy there.
Yeah. I know people shouldn't feel bad for me. That's fine.
So when I injured my knee, I tore the MCL and shredded my medial meniscus. But I put a brace on it, and I felt completely safe training from half guard, hooking with the bad knee, because I could hook it around their leg and it wasn't going to be twisted too much. Counterintuitively, I guess. I don't know. But offside of half guard, it's not the normal side. Normally you're on your right side and you hook half guard with the right leg. So I was playing on my left side, hooking with the left leg. My half guard got better and I got to train. I felt better because I was exercising.
Absolutely. I'm currently working through
A knee injury. Yeah. Is it your left knee?
Yeah.
Huh.
And it's really been kind of an awesome education, figuring out how to work in a way that I feel safe.
Yeah.
Right. Because I'm certain I can just swing my leg into whatever position and make it work if I need to, but it doesn't feel good. Right? It doesn't, like, I'm still, even if the physical part of the injury is more or less over, I've learned a huge amount. My game has gotten better adapting and keeping that extra safe and being extra cautious, and then working around things that I would do an easy way, but now have to take 2 more steps to.
I think one of the things I realized when I was training on the offside half guard was how bad some people are, most people are, if you force them onto their offside, right? They didn't pass with nearly the same efficiency. And if I could hook half guard on the side they weren't used to. And that was like, it's kind of ballooned into a whole thing. Like I do sleeve and collar on I control their left sleeve because it's easier. It's just way easier to attack. They're used to setting up their combat base, locking their knee to their elbow on the right side, and you switch over to the left side and they don't even bother trying because they're not used to it.
Yeah.
But that came from injuring my knee and continuing to train through it. I was like, oh, wow. I'm having way more. Why am I having so much success? It's the offside.
Yeah.
It's their dumb arm.
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, similarly, with the broken collarbone, when I finally got to use my arm again, revolution. I didn't need it for almost everything, but it became just a turbo.
You did 75% of a lot of techniques.
I did say yes. Yeah. Yeah.
Interesting. Sometimes that's a good thing.
Yeah. Well,
if you have the option.
Yeah, 75% of a lot of techniques is way better than none of those same techniques.
There you go.
Right. I didn't take a break. I didn't stop training.
Right.
Did what I could do. Got on the mat.
Yeah.
Let's see. What else?
When I moved to Colorado, I moved from Oklahoma to Colorado in 2000. And it took me a full year to actually make it into jiu-jitsu and start training again. Which at this point, I'm like, man, I'd have a whole other year of training under my belt. So, I haven't always done it. But, think about that now. Like, that was a year I could have been training.
Yeah.
It was a year I was probably out of shape and not feeling as good because I wasn't exercising. I wasn't training. I wasn't doing jiu-jitsu.
Yeah, and I think that's a big advantage that I've had through my training experience is relatively small periods of time where I was off for injury. I've been very lucky to be very healthy through my career, but still very much regret time I spent away from the mat. And while I encourage everybody to train for longevity,
train with longevity.
Train with longevity.
Keep training.
Yeah, keep training. Right, like there is going to be some of that risk where you're going to get bumped up, but keep going. Stay with it. It's that regret thing that's a killer.
I was thinking that I had, like jiu-jitsu had broken my body, and like honestly, I wasn't even that bothered by it. Like I love jiu-jitsu, I'd broken myself, whatever. I was sitting down with a group of friends that around the same age, they didn't do jiu-jitsu, and we had roughly comparatively similar levels of injury and whatever. Like that stuff's just going to happen over time. It gave me a whole different perspective. Like, oh, I might have had these same injuries anyways because I like to go out and do stuff sometimes, like just because I'm older. Oh, cool. All right. Your body's going to ache as you get older. Might as well be doing something.
Yeah.
Keep your brain healthy.
Something cool.
Get your exercise. Yeah, learn something. Make some good friends.
Yeah, I mean, I've got buddies that have beat up knees because they, do tile. And at the end of the day, we've got similarly beat up knees, and that guy's got nothing to show for it, and I've got medals.
Yeah.
Right? Like, that's kind of rad.
Tile or jiu-jitsu. It's your pick. You have to expend your body to do something in this world.
Yeah.
Might as well do something awesome.
But you're also, I really like the term metabolic bank. You're putting great big deposits in that metabolic bank, like you are.
I am.
You could sit on the couch and be, beat up and tore up and just in terrible shape and not feeling good. Or you could be active and, you get beat up, but you feel good. Your body works for you.
I get depressed if I don't train.
Yeah, me too.
Like I go see a psychologist and they'd be like, "Yeah, you're depressed." I actually have done that, and I go train and way better.
When I was seeing a therapist, like on a fairly regular basis, like weekly, there was a period of time where I was going and everything's kind of like clipping right along, and then I go in and my therapist is like, "You okay? What's right? There's something going on. You're different." And I'm like, well, and I guess I got lazy and I'm skipping training this week. And she's like, okay, she writes it down, and I come in the next week and I'm still feeling bad. Writes it down the third week. She's like, okay, just go train.
Dude, just go train.
Right? Like, why are you here?
Have you not picked up on this pattern yet?
Like, go away from me. Go train. Yeah, you gotta have it. But yeah, when you have those injuries, work it out, right? Adapt. Ask for help. I've gotten, actually, I think when I was rolling one-handed, I didn't know what to do at first, and my teacher's like, "All right, you're gonna pull your belt up high, tuck that in, and put it over your elbow so you've got a sling, right? So you're not tempted to pull that out."
Yeah.
Okay. I wouldn't have known that. I wouldn't have had that idea if I didn't get help. But whatever injury you have, somebody has had it before.
Yeah.
Can work out something to keep you going.
And the local black belts can give you ideas for things you can drill or ways to train, or they can give you a lot of stuff that you can work on for sure.
Yeah. Have you had any particularly humorous or memorable injuries?
I have not broken my arm. No. Dislocated finger, dislocated toe, knee, the shoulders from football, neck. We were talking about the neck earlier. I got neck cranked and I was stubborn, so I remembered to tap. And I hurt my neck, and that was like an ongoing issue for years and years. If someone put downward pressure on my neck, the smashed pad, like the disc would slip forward and it'd all clamp down, and I'd be in pretty bad pain for several days to a couple weeks. Yeah. And finally figured out that going to a chiropractor, they could crack it, and then it would release all that tension and it'd be way better. And regular chiropractic visits did actually really, really help me. I know there's some people that aren't big into chiropractors, but really helped me for sure.
Yeah, I'm a fan.
Yeah.
I think chiropractic and jiu-jitsu go together really well.
Kind of a caveat, add-on to the training through adversity is seeking out the help you need, whether it be a psychologist, a doctor, or chiropractor.
yeah.
There's just like a whole bunch of new kinds of physical therapy coming out. There's the muscle activation techniques or the I'm blanking on the name. But yeah, and some of them are going to be really good, I figure, but a lot of them are just kind of just real new at this point.
I think the best rolfing center in the country is in Boulder.
We know the son of the founder.
Okay.
Amal Easton. Oh. Or one of the founding members or something like that.
Is that where? Okay. That fills in a interesting page.
Boom. There you go.
Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah. I've had a couple of funny injuries. I mean, as funny as injuries get, I guess.
So
I mean, the bonk was a good one.
Oh yeah, you were talking about this. One of our students earned the nickname Bonk. Jason Good.
It was a competition class.
Yeah,
it was
you guys were training on Saturday up in Longmont.
Yeah, it was like Saturday morning.
Getting after it.
Yeah. So I was sitting up to kind of arm drag, right? I was in half guard or butterfly or something. I was sitting up to arm drag, and he was dropping his head to pass at the same time. And jet, boom. Yeah, right, forehead to forehead. Ended up getting 15 stitches right there in the hairline.
So it was forehead to forehead. So what happened to his forehead?
Nothing. Not nothing. He wiped a little sweat off and like.
How many stitches did you have?
15.
Oh.
15. So yeah, I smack, and then I'm just bleeding down my face. Like, I felt bad. It was maybe it was just moving into the current location, or just.
I want to say it was the old location, the original one on Main Street, but I'm bad with timelines, so
maybe. But for whatever reason, I was thinking that it was like the mats had just gone down, or something was new. And I felt extra bad about bleeding on the mat for whatever reason.
There's still rubber.
It's all right. It's okay. Just gushing blood everywhere. And then Super Dave took me to the hospital. And we went straight from the hospital to the bar.
As people are wont to do.
Yeah, it was a fun day, right? Like jiu-jitsu, head wound, beer.
Oh.
All the things that make you feel good.
And this is actually a pattern with you, huh?
Yeah.
A little bit of there's a pattern here.
Yeah, I tend to bleed from the head.
But why do you tend to bleed from the head, Professor?
Because I keep yanking things like with a mighty yank into my head and face.
Why do you do that?
I don't know. So I was training at Fort Leonard Wood with some mixed service members. It kind of turned into a little spectacle. People were into like challenge matches. You know?
Yeah, sounds like fun.
It was a blast. But I did the same kind of thing. I go to pull somebody to like an arm drag position. He started to drop, or his feet came out from underneath him. But while he was coming down, he was yelling or trying to talk or something. I don't know what he was doing, but his mouth was open.
He was going, "Oh shit!"
Maybe. But as he comes down, his mouth is open and hits me right in the top of the head with his front teeth. Digs those front teeth into my head, and I start bleeding, just gushing down. And I had rivulets running down both ears.
Oh yeah.
And so we went from like a packed room and challenge matches and high energy beating the crap out of each other to like, where's the bleach? Everybody leave here as fast as you can. Yeah.
You got bit by a Marine, huh?
I got bit by a Marine. I broke my eyebrow open a couple of times, pulling myself into my partner's knee.
You pulled yourself into their knee.
Yes.
That reminds me of my friend in middle school. he was talking about a fight he got into, and he was like, "Oh, I faced him in the knee, and then I crotched him in the fist, or whatever, something like that." And I was like, "Okay, so you got beat up. All right, yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know if crotching somebody in the fist is a good idea, but
crotched them in the knee." That's what he said. He crotched them in the knee, and then I faced him in the fist a couple times.
no.
No. He had it completely backwards.
Right.
This is middle school. What are you gonna do? Any other face wounds? So you busted open your eyebrow, got bit, got bonked.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I'm sure everybody has done just so many bloody lips and
I bet people with braces have
buddy.
stories, right? Yeah. I've had bloody nose. I've had some bloody noses and some busted lips. I used to get a lot more busted lips.
Yeah.
I used to drag my feet on the mats and get mat burn all the time.
Ooh, yeah.
And someone was talking about it. I was like, I haven't gotten mat burn on my feet in years. I remember getting it all the time, but
I still get it with brand new mats. When we first did the Denver school, and the mats were like super fresh.
Mm-hmm. Super scratchy.
Yeah, I got a little bit.
Sometimes is there like a little more slick or something too?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, the edges are just a little sharper. I think too, just I maybe have nice calluses that I don't even think about. But that reminds me, back when I used to get calluses, I used to get gi burn on my eyelids. I had like a hard spot on both eyelids.
Huh.
Because people kept grabbing my head and squishing whatever, and so I'm not gonna move. I'm not giving up. Right? You squeezing my head is nothing. So I would just close my eyes and stay in there, and got gi burn rub all over both my eyelids to the point where I had like little calluses here. I thought that was really cool back when.
Never heard of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now I think it's cool to keep your head out of the squeeze, but
Yeah. I have 2 cauliflower ear things from Jiu-Jitsu and 1 or 2 from wrestling. The open guard horns. You guys can see that on the camera. But from grabbing the gi, rolling the cuff over and over again, you build up thick calluses. Like these don't even go away. I didn't train for a month during the lockdown. And I trained like a couple times, and they didn't go anywhere. They stayed right there.
Yep. Another cool side effect I like is muscly feet. That big hook muscle.
Mm-hmm.
Like folks that don't do sports where you're pulling your toes back all the time have nice, like, flat, pretty feet. Jiu-jitsu fighters got.
You can also grip your foot, right? Show them.
Oh yeah. Like full fist.
Nope.
No.
Still no. Professor's got the monkey foot.
Comes in super handy.
I bet.
Especially when you lose a hand.
I bet.
Gotta start, feeding collars open with your feet to the his hand tucked in the belt, his foot passing collars. It'll all work out.
We'll figure it out. What else? We got anything else here?
Ribs.
Oh man, yeah.
It's the worst.
Dislocated, I don't know, whatever, a rib. And I had the brilliant idea, to help kill the pain. I took a huge tube rib and coughed and sunk to the ground and curled up in the ball. It hurt so bad. You do not, if you have an injury, want to cough, sneeze, laugh too loud,
Fart too hard.
twist to look at someone. Looking at someone is, oh yes, I see you over there.
Yeah.
Brilliant idea.
Full robot shuffle.
Yeah.
Yeah, rib. I got this rib one, and I don't know if it's. I think it's supposed to reattach, but now it's just bent in.
Huh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I always think of. Do you know that show Bones?
Yeah. I've heard of it. I don't know if I've seen it.
So it's the same, like police procedural show that they all are.
Yeah.
But the main character specifically looks at skeletons, and so she'll kind of reconstruct, from the bones what happened to this person. I always thought it'd be really interesting to get like a group of fighters and lay out their skeletons and have somebody who was an expert like take a look. Right. I feel like
Repeated breaks.
right, repeated injuries. And
Uh-huh.
like, okay, so did this person fall down a cliff really slowly? Like
Over a period of years? Yes, kind of.
Yeah. At the same time, still way better than, hypertension from sitting on the couch, not doing anything.
Word.
Yeah. I think I wonder, because I've had conversations before about all the injuries and things that I've experienced during jiu-jitsu, and I wonder if in some ways that conversation could be intimidating to newer folks.
Yeah, for sure. A lot of people don't train because they don't want to be injured, right?
Right.
Or they quit. They train jiu-jitsu and then they quit. They get an injury, maybe a not even a big one, but they're like, oh, like I'm going to get injured, and they quit training.
Mm-hmm. And I'm in a weird mental spot with that because I want very much to encourage new people. I want those new people to feel comfortable, to feel safe, to know that that their training environment is fun and a good place to be. I don't want intimidation or that deep anxiety to be a part of people's training. But at the same time, I don't want to be less than forthright, I guess, with how I present jiu-jitsu. Like,
you don't want to panic them. Hey, so you're going to get messed up. You're going to get some shit popped. Get ready for it.
Right.
That's not encouraging.
That's not encouraging, but it's real. I mean, that's part of the truth.
Yeah.
So yeah, I wonder if there's a way to.
How do you address it without freaking them out?
Yeah. I mean, maybe this isn't exactly it, right? Here we are, having been full on beaten up, and we're laughing about it. It's fine. It's great. Pain is temporary.
I don't want to get injured, but it's not going to stop me from training.
No. I mean, I don't want to get injured. I want jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
And if being hurt sometimes is the price for that, then okay.
I accept. I've learned a lot of ways to train a little bit smarter over the years, being less stubborn. I had to learn the hard way, like with the neck crank and the whatever. But training with less intensity, like just training and trying to think of other ways to say that. Because there's kind of like a lot of little things, but like not fighting certain things so much. Like if they're trying to break the grip, just let go and grab something else. Don't hold on and hurt your fingers.
Yeah.
For an example.
Absolutely. That was one Erwin like just beat up on us. He's saying like, don't be stubborn on your grips. It's just gonna hurt you.
No.
Right? Like, so they broke your grip. So what?
They didn't break your hand.
Yeah.
Right? Your hand is still there. The collar it still exists in space somewhere. Just find it again.
They
Yeah.
presented another opportunity as they were breaking that grip. You were
100%.
so stuck on the grip that was all you could see.
Yeah. Being stubborn and being tense often go hand in hand, and neither one of them is a good idea.
Being tense, aka old man disease. Relax. And they're like, what?
Oh my gosh. My absolute favorite is when I'm trying to adjust somebody, trying to show them where the technique is. Yeah. I'm like, okay, we're going to move this. We're going to move this. Okay, we're going to move this.
Because they're fighting.
Right. I'm like, who are you fighting right now?
You! In my mind! For some reason.
End up fighting yourself.
Most.
And then getting injured and having to work through that again. So, be water, my friend.
Relax.
Yeah.
Slow down. Breathe. Keep training.
Keep training. Yeah. Tape your shit together, get on the mat.
Buddy tape it. You gotta buddy tape your legs, buddy tape your legs. I don't care. Get on the mat.
Yeah. Yeah.
Have we talked about Headley Vigio on the podcast?
I don't think so, because that is not ringing any bells for me.
So I read an article in Gracie Mag when I was like a blue belt, like way back in the day, about this dude Headley Vigio who got his black belt in 1975, but he was a cop, and so he's off duty. And he tries to like get involved in a altercation, ends up getting shot and paralyzed. And then as soon as he was out of the hospital, he wheels his ass to the side of the mat in his gi, and like he's pointing, coaching, observing the moves very, very carefully, and he's like, he couldn't move, but he's like, no, my presence and my mind is going to be right here in jiu-jitsu, and I'm going to keep going. And so he did. Now he's he's a 7th degree black belt, like has been at it this whole time. So like I think that's my go-to. Like, I'm too hurt to come to the school. Are you a quadriplegic?
Are you dead?
Also,
Are you in a coma?
yeah, all of our schools are handicapped accessible.
Them's the rules.
Yeah, you can absolutely wheel up to the side of the mat, and we will help you. Your excuses mean nothing.
Well, I think that's a good stopping point.
Yeah. All right. So, dark horses, stick with it. Thanks for sticking with us. Make sure you are engaged with us. Getting a little back and forth here on your social medias.
Leave a little comment.
Yeah. Leave a long comment.
Leave a big comment.
Yeah.
Share this video with someone else. Thank you for coming out.